Alright, let's just see. You're gonna pick it up, YouTube? Yay, it's green. I just need to... Alright, and there... Let's just... Come on. Ah, there we go. Yay, it's seen. Alright, let's get going. And hopefully nothing crashes. I was having some issues with that when I was playing this on the other character. Yeah, I can move it fast. So one thing I saw a few days ago, it's good to see that apparently, because last week I talked about, is it possible that NVIDIA's been running into trouble? Because just random idea that in my mind, that why is it taking so long to see a successor to Pascal? And even any news about it coming, too. But did see that there's that video cards that they apparently have started briefings with other companies about it. So that is something you do not do unless you have a product that can be discussed. But that, unfortunately, as they point out, these aren't necessarily marketing briefings, though, so we don't actually know. Like, a launch could be weeks to months away. But it's still, this is a good thing. Come on, there we go. Those door transitions. But yeah, so it is looking like that is coming. I got lots of points. Alright. How about one of the light ones? See, when you're not in combat, the light ones are fine. But I am. Oh, crap. I hate these guys. Poison is just so overpowered. But seriously, it does feel like with poison, it's overpowered. That it's like, yeah, especially with that thing, where it's like, yeah, we're just gonna cover the entire room with poison that you cannot stand in. Because it deals initial damage, and then it just is a dot that lasts a while, and it's like, this is not fun. Fortunately, it seems like most of the time those enemies don't stick around. There's not much. Alright. What the hell was I working on before? I think I'm fine. No. Okay, that gives me the engine. That lets it bounce around. So for melee weapons, that's nice. More difficult damage. That doesn't sound good. Wonder about that one. feel like this would be good. It's so hard to make up my mind. You know what? Let's focus on that instead. You just get the thing I'm already using. It's also less passive. You have to activate it, but it's still passive. It's just always there. Yeah, on the one hand, I don't feel like the other setup, the other character is quite as, because that's offense and Rune Master, I don't think it's quite as effective at damage as this one, but everything there is passive, so it's also, I've got a lot less damage. Right, this week I've been busy with other stuff that it did slip my mind that E3 was this week. It also seemed like a lot of that stuff was front heavy on the week. Like Computex, I was still seeing things like the Wednesday and Thursday, but with E3 it seemed like most were just Monday. But oh man, let me see. There's the news for Prey, which I have that. I got that with the Vega 64. I still need to play it though. That's actually part of the reason I haven't. There have been some other games where it's like, yeah, it'd be nice to get that. Like, Assassin's Creed Origin was on sale not too long ago, and it's like I do want that. I very do specifically want that game because I've played all the others, and I've enjoyed the most of the others. You know, that is true. Dex is nice. Because dexterity also is increasing my damage. Yeah, I still haven't played, and I want to, but yeah, I didn't get Assassin's Creed Origins when it was on sale. It's like, I wouldn't mind spending that much money. It would be nice if I could see a little cheaper. But it was in part because it's like I still have so many games I want to play, and Prey is one of them. And now it's like it's got more play modes to it. The heck? I'm colliding with something there. But also the DLC that I do not have. And I don't know if I would spend $20 on it either. No offense to that was Arcane, I think. Under Bethesda's the publisher. It's Arcane Studios, I think, that did the specific development. I just don't feel like spending $20 on it, not having played the base game. Maybe after playing the base game, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's excellent. I don't know yet. Fallout 76, which I'm not a big... The Bethesda style RPG is not my favorite. So that's true for the Fallout games that Bethesda has done, and also the Elder Scrolls. Just that idea of here's a side campaign that you can completely forget about the rest of the game. I was like, yes, it is true. I praised The Witcher 3 for the Bloody Baron side campaign, but because it's like that's a good size campaign. It's a very, very interesting and compelling story I found. And it's like I really enjoyed that, and I wrote it down in my notes. I wrote it in the review. If that's where the game ended, I would have been happy. I mean, still, that was also 40 hours in that I finally finished it, I want to say. But it's just, it really is that good a campaign, side campaign. But then it's like with Fallout. See, I remember when I finished playing Fallout New Vegas, and it's talking about how, oh, there's was it the Enclave? I don't remember now who it was, but it's like they're apparently in a bunker. And even though in Fallout 3 they are set up as an enemy, in this you can actually befriend them, and not in a you doing evil kind of way when I looked it up, but it's like, I had no idea these guys even existed. None. And also, there's the Thieves Guild campaign in Skyrim, where it's like there are people that can bury dozens of hours into that, completely forgetting the actual point of the game, the actual story of the game. It's like, I don't like that. I mean, I guess in one way it's nice because it would give you this very broad world you can exist in, but you shouldn't exist then as the Dragonborn, I guess, is a way to put it. It's like, no, you exist for a purpose here. You have a goal here. Why are you giving me these things that let me forget what that is? Not only forget, but neglect it. It's like, that's... And it's also, I like going through and doing everything. So when it's a, no, you're not going to because you can't find everything just going around. Because there aren't even hints. Like, I seriously had no idea that Enclave thing in New Vegas existed. Until the credits rolled and it showed that, you didn't help them, so they died out. It's like, they existed? I don't like that. Hopefully that will not be the case with Rage 2, because that will also be RPG-ish. We'll see. I at some point need to play Rage. I know I installed it years ago and played a little bit of it, but it just didn't hold me, so I ended up uninstalling it. I don't know, but then it's also Avalanche is helping with that, so that may make some difference. Let's talk to this guy.
These strange soldiers are everywhere. They swarm over every street and plaza. Epigenes may have sent you to help rescue the survivors.
But yeah, so I can... But it's still, Fallout 76, that design idea where it's basically taking Fallout to be an MMO. And with the camp, that it could be interesting. I don't know how interesting it will be for me, but it still could be interesting. So, oh, okay, it's over here. Hang on, let me just. That is one of the greater artifacts. I do want to start trying to make some of those. It's like, this is a lesser artifact, then there's just artifact in between, I think, or maybe it is just lesser to greater. Okay, the bloodletting I should have. Touch of the Fool, I don't know. Sunstone, no. Well, no, I can make a Sunstone Priest. I do have the recipe for that somewhere. Yeah, so okay, also Elder Scrolls 6 was teased. And it's interesting seeing some people talking about, might we see id having some impact on
you can't hold anymore
on these games, as in
you have no more room.
How might I manage this? But like id being involved, allowing them to unless I'll be able to get that.
You can't carry anymore.
Wait, I can't? Thought the the idea of getting getting Vulcan supporting to the engine, like, I doubt that they would use id techs 6? I think that's where we're at. I think that's what New Colossus used.
Store your goods?
I probably already have one of these. Soul Prism? Yeah, right. Oh, I do have Touch of the Fool. Okay, so I could... Yeah, I don't know if that's one I want, though. Oh, that's interesting.
Your goods are safe
The
with me.
arcane arts are no more than remembering secrets
That's
that you
that.
once knew.
I know I'm getting rid of some things that maybe I shouldn't be. Like this, but it's like I have multiple of these already. Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see if they do bring about some Vulcan support, or even just go to a different engine for Fallout or Elder Scrolls. Because I want to say I don't have Fallout 4, so I haven't followed that as closely. Tech information of that, but I want to say that it is still using like an engine that was like the Game Brio engine that well, Bethesda's been using a modified version of the Game Brio engine for like Oblivion and then Skyrim, and I think Fallout 3 also used it, and Vegas, and I think Fallout 4. I'm just not so sure about that. And it's like, they really need a new engine, because there are some weird issues that people have found with them, and also just the whole, there's never a Bethesda game that comes out that doesn't have a Bethesda RPG that doesn't have serious bugs in it. It's like, well, a different engine might be a little better there, depending. I mean, there's some things that are not going to be improved by that, but still, at least seeing better performance could be interesting. And RPG using a low-level API, opening up the CPU, you could do some more fun things that way.
Thank you for helping with our plight.
There we go. Yes, so many. Okay, that's actually kind of neat. All that stuff there. I can't use it, but it's still kind of neat. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go to a low-level API for either of those. But anyway, they also Doom Eternal, which I need to play all of Doom. I have Doom. I need to play all of it. I've only played the demo. I'm also thinking about doing some of my recordings. The Wolfenstein Youngbloods, which feature BJ's twin daughters entering the fight, which I'm a little concerned about. Just the idea of just carrying on the game franchise, game series but true. I mean, this may be very much a one-off. By just, oh yeah, because he's having kids. We're just now to the kids. It's like
I thought I could do it alone.
That's a little
I
weak.
almost made it. Here.
That's right.
I have this.
I'm gonna take those back. So it's like that has me kind of worried, but it also, because it'll bring co-op to it, that could be interesting, especially if it's something that exploits, like one is more for sniping, the other isn't, and just working things out like that, different, multiple paths. That could be interesting. But I am just a little concerned with this for the story. That's not the way I want to go. What else? Crap, I don't remember the name of that new IP that they announced. That could be Well, we really have no idea what's up with that, so hard to say. Okay, I think I actually should have just warped back. Hard to say with that. Ubisoft also announced a lot. Although, is any of it new? Yes, some of it was new. Trials Rising was new, I know. Crap, what else? The Division 2, well, they gave us finally some details on the Division 2, like it being set in DC. What else? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And that is in fact set before Origins. Which, that is interesting. And just how's that going to tie in? Come on. I hate that. I just hate that it does that. Anyway, one thing though that it actually occurred to me a little late. But I did like when seeing the announcement trailer for it. I liked that there were shots in it. I don't know if these are real or were real, but seeing different like ruined statues that are of different events or characters in Greek mythologies, which is like one of them that I remember is you seeing essentially Prometheus, a statue of Prometheus that has fallen to the ground, and well, he's lying on the ground, but there's a crow that's biting at the liver. It's like, that's his punishment for... It's not actually for having given fire to man, it was more the deception that he taught man to do. Because man having fire wasn't so bad, especially because they could use it to make offerings to the other titans. So that was like, yeah, whatever. Shouldn't have done it, but, you know, now we get that. Now we get these better tributes. What Prometheus also did, though, was he taught them a way to trick the gods, which was, instead of making a sacrifice, like you would slaughter a cow, and the gods would have wanted the best parts to sacrifice to them. But Prometheus taught them how to dress up the worst parts so it would look and smell better when burned. And so the gods then actually picked. That's what they wanted offered to them. So man got to keep the better stuff for themselves. The better meat and such for themselves. And that is what really led to his punishment, was the teaching the deception. But regardless, still, it was neat to see that, you know, in stone. But it reminded me of something that I've been a little leery of some of the Sweet games where it's like they kept getting newer and newer, or more recent and more recent in the history. And it worried me because the closer you come, the less room you have. It's harder to build an alternate story when the history is more and more what people actually can remember. Now, true, they had some elements of World War I in Syndicate. So, and those were only special missions in there. So it's like, yeah, they still had room. But I liked it, the whole, going to hundreds of years ago, multiple centuries ago, to let you do some things there to explore the deeper history and not just interactions. It's like a Black Flag is relatively recent, but the history in it is relatively recent. I mean, but it wasn't really about the mythology. It was more about the interactions, the role that Kenway could have. It's been years since I played it. Whereas, with this, and I assume with Origins, because I haven't had the opportunity to play it yet, it's like you have more of the mythology there, so it can tie in more to the First Civilization stuff. Because, like, you know, the characters of Zeus and such actually existed as persons in that First Civilization. That's interesting, to me at least. Kind of like how in here, I like the stuff here for the catching the mythology in it. So it's like it'll be interesting to see them go back further, so they can play around with that.
I won't exaggerate. Things are grim. The odds lie heavily against us. We are weak and scattered.
Admetus? Gone? I should not have cursed the boy. I should not have let him go. It was far too dangerous. Ambition blinded his eyes. Thanks to you, his sacrifice was not needless. These medicines will save lives, even as Admetus is lost to us.
I don't know which...
Stores I hadn't passed it on. Gone. And this is all I have left. The rest is lost.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to use that. Okay, there. That's a healthy bit more damage.
Beware those pale marauders!
Yes, I am looking forward to what comes of Odyssey. And hopefully before then I'll get Origins, and play that. What else came out of E3? I'm sorry, it has been a week that it's not surprising I don't remember as much. And also, there was a lot of things to just, you know, basically were good things that, you know, would stand out, that can struggle to stand out compared to each other. It wasn't like Computex, where it's like, no, Intel stands out because of how they basically didn't announce anything new and cheated. AMD announced the Threadripper 2 that will be available in up to 32 cores. It's like, yeah, that's something that stands out. And then NVIDIA saying that, yeah, it'll be a long time, though that's a very relative term, before, you know, there's a new consumer series. It's like, well, that's, you know, that's news as well. It's like, those things stand out. Whereas just this game has been announced, that game's been announced. It's like, yeah, I also wrote up EA stuff. That stuff actually came out on like Saturday or Sunday. So that makes it harder for me to remember, because that was even longer ago. That how DLC is going to work in Battlefield 5 is going to be different. And also I just remember one thing I saw. Apparently there's been some pushback from some people about there being a female character on the cover, no less, but also just playable, I assume, in Battlefield 5. And apparently one of the executives at EA was like, so what, don't buy the game, deal with it. Which, it's sad that comment has been made, but it's a complete, like, comment. It's something like that, yeah, I mean, don't buy the game then. If you don't want that there, don't buy it, don't play it. It's like, personally, I don't care. It's like, whatever. I tend to play when there's a choice, like in here, there's a choice, male or female. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, was also shown up. You will have the choice between male and female there. I'll probably play male, at least for the first time. Might try female a second time. Why? I'm a guy, so I'm gonna pick the male avatar. But there's nothing wrong with playing as a female, especially even if the game is you're forced to do it. It's like I played Remember Me. don't remember if I reviewed it. I'm pretty sure it got reviewed. I just don't remember if that was me or if Andrew did that. Because I know I don't remember now, but that game was an interesting game. Fun game. I'm not that big on the combo combat stuff. But still, not a game that I can think of many complaints for. Portal franchise, that's Shell, which I guess some people say, oh well, you're not really aware. It's like, don't care. It's like, I play games to have fun, to escape, to review them, to be critical, and to also, to an extent, learn. Games are a form of storytelling, and you learn. A primary and always present purpose of stories is to teach. That's just how that is. And so, yeah, I just enjoy that. I don't really care what form you end up playing. Though I will also admit, and that just like how the whole I will pick male before female because I am a male, I also typically pick human before non-human. In a game like The Elder Scrolls, where you have that pick there. Though not always, it's weird. In a game like Galactic Civilizations, where there's humans, but there's also non-humans, I may go for the synthetics. Also, like the Yor, in the case of Galactic Civilizations 3. In part because typically they are more research-focused, and I like being more research-focused in those kinds of games. So, yeah. It's like, no, it'll be a strategic choice, but for just, like, how am I presented? What is my avatar? No, it's typically human male, because that's what I am. Alright, yeah, I'll be stopping soon. So...
I don't know what to do, where to go. No one comes for us. We go nowhere. When will someone come? Are we supposed to go on our own?
Yeah, so this is the boat that Charon, the ferryman, is supposed to be taking people into the afterlife for. They're currently just kind of trapped here. Yeah, Charon the Stock. And this is in the mythology, well, in the culture, the putting a coin on the person's eyes, or 2 coins. That was to pay the toll. And you see that in other things as well, I want to say. And I think this may have actually crashed. Yep. Okay. Popping back to that. It is slow to sync. Steam is. The Steam cloud there. Anyway, but yeah, so EA, correct response. If you really have a problem with that, that's on you. There was also Intel has stated that they will be entering the discrete GPU market by 2020, which I do not know what to make of Intel entering or trying to enter the GPU market. Because, I mean, for one thing, I still don't know how the hell they're going to manage it with IP stuff.
Can you row the boat? Charon has gone. Do you know where he is? Can you bring him back? Where has Charon gone?
We are trying to get in.
We do not know what to do. The ferryman has abandoned his boat, and there is no way over the river.
One thing that entered my
mind.
mind.
Shade. Hipparchus it was.
A while ago.
Tried to gather a crew and man the boat, but they took...
that might Intel have
I have seen it.
AMD do the manufacturing, because that might be a way around, with semi-custom, that might be a way around certain things.
Shades whole.
Because
Now
then you're
with so
leveraging
many
AMD's
shades crowding the
IP,
bank,
and
it grows bold and
deals,
comes
but
ashore. In life, I was a hunter.
Yeah, I do not know, because Intel has a cross-licensing deal with, I have this stuff I want to take care of. With NVIDIA, so they can have GPUs at all in their products, like in proper Intel products, like in the CPUs.
The arcane arts are no more than remembering secrets that you once knew.
But it just
To your nature be
that's
true.
enough.
First chest is free.
Rabbi. There.
Hera smile on you.
Hang on.
A fine day to ease your burden.
Oh. Yeah, I need to find the amber flask. I have no idea where I would though. Might actually need to like go back and farm earlier places.
A real hero, my caravan.
Walk back. I don't think I need to, but I'll do it. I don't know, and I've not seen anything really answering that question. Just how is Intel going to get around that? I mean, right now I think they legally don't have to if they're just doing like internal development kind of stuff. Could be wrong there, but just it would make some sense that would be allowed. Yeah, I don't know. But my own guess would be that when the time comes, when it's released, they will be I think I would guess it would be about a generation behind in performance, or maybe a generation and a half. But that the next generation that they would catch up, because they have so much, Intel has so much money that it's that first one figuring out, getting the experience there, and then the one afterwards one's like, okay, now we're really doing things. But it is hard to say though. I mean, how do you predict it? They can acquire a lot of talent and they have the money, but you don't know. And it's also, what is their goal here? Do they really mean to be fully competitive in the gaming space? Or do they just want to enter into as many of the GPU segments as they can? Don't know. But at least we'll find out in 2 years or so. And by then, let me see. We'll have 7nm GPUs being mass-produced. We will have AMD on Navi, and people expecting whatever comes after it, which the expectation is it will no longer be GCN-based, which, man, GCN gets a bad rap that I don't think it deserves quite as much as it gets. Like, maybe we'll just see a complete... going to something new would be good, but I think that we won't, that while some people trash GNC and want it just gone, I think that they would end up sticking with, there's still some things there, but fixing the serious flaws that GCN has that do hold it back. Like, oh crap, what is it? There's only 4 of something on there, I just don't remember what it is, and does specifically hold back its ability to render... Is it the ROPs that are limited? Hang on, let me try to look this up. There's something weird. It's limited. I don't think so. It's compute. Hey. Maybe it is inconvenience. I don't remember, but it's something that NVIDIA doesn't have that issue with, and that's one advantage that it has. But yeah, so that would probably be solved by whenever they move away from GCN. But it's also, there are things to GCN that they wouldn't want to give up. Like they would want to keep a healthy compute. Because with the low-level APIs, you're able to leverage that more. Like ASIC compute that has been used since Ashes of Singularity, the first DirectX 12 game, and it's also in Vulkan. FP, the rapid packed math. You want to keep good compute to continue to see that. So yeah, it's I don't know. And then NVIDIA, of course, will be whatever they're on, and again, it'll likely be on 7 nanometers. So it's like, where's Intel going to be with this? How are they going to fit in? And also, I mean, by then, hopefully they'll have 10 nanometer sorted out, but will they also have moved on to 7 nanometer? Will it be their 7 nanometer? Will it be something else? No idea. It will be interesting to see where things are in 2020, and also to see that, let me see, by the end of this year, you'll be able to get a 32-core CPU in your desktop for probably under $2,000. So that's the end of this year, and it's gonna go up in Zen 2 with AMD. Yeah, that's gonna be a weird. We are entering a very weird and interesting time, and 2020 is also gonna be in that. We'll just have to see. Anyway, I'm out. See you next time.